What's up guys? Welcome to today's vlog. Super exciting one here today. Finally putting the hydro in. Matt was able to fabricate a nice bracket for us to mount the actual handle to, so that's the last link we were missing to get this thing put in. Besides that, everything's just been sitting at my house teasing me, so let's get this thing finally done today. It's been long enough and we're one step closer to building this drift car and getting out on the track.
What's up everyone? My name's Matt and today we're making a very simple but effective plate to mount this Chase Bay e-brake in Ryan's drift car. I'm just cutting the plate out. I'm gonna use a shear, plasma cutter, and then drill and tap some holes so we can go drifting. So let's get into it. So I just got the hole cut out. Now the plate can sit down around the shifter. I'm gonna put some holes in it and we're gonna make some plates to go up from the bottom so that we can bolt the top plate to some plates underneath because it's just thin sheet metal in the car. So we're gonna put some plates under there, try and reinforce it, stiffen it up. So when you're cranking on that e-brake, you're not gonna be peeling up and messing with the sheet metal that's in there. So now we're gonna go lay out some holes and do some drilling and tapping.
Let's get the car in the shop, get it set up, and we'll take you along for the journey. All right guys, before we get too far into the install process, I just want to run through everything we got here to show you the full kit, show you what we're working with. So to start off, obviously we got this beautiful Chase Bay's handle. We went with the inline, so this is actually a modular system as far as I understand. You can unbolt the cylinder here and put a whole separate master cylinder if you want to run dual calipers. We went with the inline, so we obviously run the lines through this setup here and it just plumbs into the existing brake system. Comes with this sweet little removable handle, little Allen key, sort of to tighten it up there. Just slides over like that, you tighten it up, it'll be pretty sweet. I believe that's just so, because this is rubber, it'll wear out over time, so you can replace it. Pretty cool. Comes with all the supporting hardware here, as well as the tool to put the bolts in here, which sit nice and flush, by the way. It's a really clean look once those are all in there. I went and bought the supporting Chase Bay's line kit here. Comes with all the fittings already in some of the lines there, which is pretty cool. Gonna be a nice little system. All the lines are already to length. I'll pull that all out later and show you. And then this is the bracket that Matt made for us. Super cool. It's gonna go like that in the car. So we got he drilled and tapped some nice mounting holes for these bolts to mount the handle right here. So the handle's gonna sit up like this, boom, boom. It's gonna be super cool. And then we got these nice holes already pre-drilled for these brackets that go underneath the tunnel. We thought that if we put brackets underneath the tunnel, it would allow a little more support to not pull on the sheet metal around the tunnel. Apparently that sheet metal is pretty thin, so it can be pretty brittle. So this is obviously to go around the shifter, which is pretty cool. It's gonna sit and basically cover up that whole area. I'll show you once we get in the car, but pretty clean little setup he's got here, and he was nice enough to paint it and match it all up, so it's gonna look pretty sick when it's done, something like that. Here's all the pieces that come in this kit. We got one long line here. They put some of the different fittings on each end here, but a few different lines. We got one really long line, we got one so-so with a banjo on one side, and then a couple shorter lines with 90 degrees on the ends, and then a couple shorter lines with 45 degrees on the ends. So I think these ones go into the calipers, which means these ones come through the floor. I believe these get drilled into the floor, and then these connect to the back of the hydro. And then it's all in line, which is kind of nice. So we got T-connector, banjo bolts, all that stuff. Pretty good kit. And honestly, it's all pretty good quality. Feels nice and sturdy. Stainless steel braided, it looks like. Really nice kit. When I made this bracket, I sized it up and sort of put a cardboard template around the shifter here to get an idea of where I want the hydro to sit. So I already have a good idea that it's going to sit right about here. I wanted it to pull straight back. That's why these are aligned to go straight back rather than towards me like this. So knowing that, I centered my hole here. This is kind of my reference. If I have an even gap around here, everything should line up. And then just keep everything parallel. So that way and that way it's all straight, leveled. So is what I did is I already center punched my holes off camera, these 4. So I'm mounting up the bracket here first because I want to make sure that the handle is in the exact position that I want it to be. But if the lines are a different length or they're not long enough to get to the back, I can modify that rather than having to make a position work that I don't want the handle to be in. I want to be comfortable when I'm driving rather than compromising on the position of the handle to make sure the lines fit, if that makes sense. Things are coming along pretty good, guys. So I actually had to modify these little brackets. These are the pieces that actually go, I'm gonna stick them through the hole here basically, and they go underneath, and then they're tapped out in these holes for the bolts to just thread right into them. I definitely am very confident now, or very happy that we did brackets, because I filed this hole out here specifically, and that metal is so thin that there's no doubt in my mind that if I just put a nut on the back side of this, I'd rip right through. So glad we did these little brackets. Sorry guys, I totally forgot to get shots of the actual install process when I was putting the handle in. So here's what it looks like in the car now. I got all the lines routed and everything, and this is what it looks like sitting in the car with the bracket and everything. Tried bleeding the hydro a little bit more. I ended up trying to put a vacuum bleeder on it, but my vacuum bleeder doesn't really work that well. So we just bled it a few more times. Nicole's hanging out right now, doing some social media stuff. And we're gonna go take it for a drive. I'm gonna put the wheels back on, take it for a drive and see how it goes. Besides that, we're kind of out of brake fluid right now anyway, so this might be the best it gets. I will keep you guys updated though and let you know what we find out, what we discover. So the car's not working out so well. So we had to soothe our pains with Starbucks. I think that's where we're gonna wrap this video up today actually. I think it's, we're kind of at a standstill because I need to buy another tool. I need to buy a pressure bleeder to try and pressurize the brake system. Bleed it that way, hopefully we can get some air out. I think there's air in the system that we can't get through just pumping it like a normal bleed. So we're gonna order something online. Hopefully it gets here in a few days, and then I'll film a second video. In that video, I'm gonna do a full walkthrough of what we did, all the successes and failures we had with this, and try and give you guys a really good layout of what we did to mount this system in the car. So stay tuned for that video. In the meantime, like, subscribe, comment on this one. Let me know if you have any feedback, and we'll be putting the interior back in that next video too. So until then, live life unlimited, guys. Peace.